Hey you guys, okay, so we're gonna get ready together today. We're gonna get this together. But in doing so, we're gonna talk about some updates, some stuff going on, talk about like some fun shows and things like that. I'm really excited because I do 2 videos a week and I feel like that's a lot, but a lot of times it's all the time, you know, it's like it's topic or it's whatever, and I feel like, you know, these kind of videos are ones that I like doing the most, where I just talk and stuff. I'm gonna link to everything I'm using if I don't talk about it as I'm using it. Anyway, there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot that I can't wait to update you guys on. I've got such a cool thing that I did in here with my beauty products and my makeup. But let's just get into it. I'm so excited about so many things. I wanna talk about Big Little Lies. I have a couple of other show recommendations that you guys, oh my gosh, you guys have to check out. We talked about Big Little Lies a lot when I, in the Hills, okay, whatever. We'll get into everything, which freaking could not care less about the Hills. We'll get there. We'll get into Big Little Lies in a second, but a show that you really need to watch that, this is kind of like just a little concealer, that if you liked Big Little Lies the first season, remember we talked about it so much last year, and so many of you guys watched it, and like got addicted to it like me, and now everybody, I mean, it's like, it's a huge, I mean, it's a legit thing. I mean, gosh, like Meryl Streep's in season 2, it's a thing, okay? We'll talk about it all. But if you want another show that's pretty good, that's like, I mean, it is a good show. It's kind of, I feel like a less traumatizing version. Like it's a little lighter. I mean, it's not lighter. I mean, there's like a death and but it's not as like, very good as Dead to Me. I believe that's on HBO. Oh, no, it's Netflix. So if you guys have not seen Dead to Me, watch that. It's one that you can binge like in just a couple days because it's not many episodes. It has Christina Applegate. And then the other girl, I was like, who is this girl? I finally figured out who she was. She was the curly haired girl in Legally Blonde that shot her father. Do you remember? The girl that was like the perm, you know? Where she was like, it was you walking through the door. It was that girl. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? The dark-headed girl with the bangs. Who is this? That's who it is. So if you haven't seen Dead to Me, that is one worth watching, and they picked it up for a season 2, or they are gonna do a season 2, but it's on Netflix. It's really good, and I think that you'll really be interested in that. So let me know if you watched that. Real quick, before we get into Big Little Lies, okay, if you haven't seen any of these shows, like I said, I'm gonna mix in some recommendations, but I'm gonna kind of like describe things and things that are going on. I'm not just gonna be like throwing around names and be like, what the hell, I'm lost. I think it'll be interesting no matter what, hopefully. I try. So we'll get into it, but I think it'll be fun. But let's start with The Hills before I get into, first of all, I'm not even gonna talk. The Hills, to me, I have not watched the season, could not be less interested. Okay, I was obsessed with The Hills, you guys, when it was on. So obsessed. I'm trying to think if I wanna do my brows really quick. I've been just doing this. I've literally just been doing this hourglass and just kind of like leaving it at that. But we need more time to chat, so I'm just gonna do my brows. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do the whole damn thing because I've got so much to talk about, you guys. Okay, so The Hills, could not care less. And here's why, like I was obsessed with that. Could not have been more into like Laguna Beach and The Hills, and I feel like now, like my demographic that watched it then are now watching things like Housewives or Vanderpump Rules, and it's just a very different, it's a very different vibe because The Hills was actually scripted. That wasn't like a rumor when it first went off. You know, the last scene they told us that was scripted and fake. They like moved the thing away and it was basically saying like this has all been fake. And then all of the cast members later came out and said that basically all the relationships were fake. Heidi and Spencer, which is kind of funny, I feel, were probably the most like real people on the show. All of Kristen's relationships were fake. She was never with that Justin Bobby guy. Audrina, I mean, who the hell knows? But it's like now, and Brody, they're starting the show up again with Spencer and Heidi and Brody and Audrina and Justin Bobby. Okay, I think that's like the main players. And Misha Barton. I've heard people say, she was on the OC. I'm like, that was a totally different show. That was, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I'm sorry, but there's no part of me that even, I hate to say this, I don't care about what Misha Barton's doing. I just don't, I don't want to, I'm just never a fan. I'm just not into it. So, okay, so that's happening. And it's like, the reason I'd watch this show is for like nostalgia's sake, but what are we watching? Are we just like submitting ourselves to this like, okay, we were fooled once, let's just be fooled again? Or like, what's happening? I don't get it. I just like literally do not get the concept of the show. And even Spencer and Heidi in a podcast kind of said the same thing, which I think is kind of interesting. Spencer and Heidi have this podcast called like Make Spidey Famous. It's not a podcast I listen to often, but I saw that I think a while back, Stassi was on it, and I'm a big Vanderpump Rules fan. And that is one thing about that show is that like, sure, like when you're filming a reality show, they may say, okay, we're gonna go film here or whatever, but it's all people that are together. They're all having like real like issues and interactions. For the most part, I do think that girl that James is with is a little like, I think she should be on the Hills. Like, let's just put it that way. But like, I don't know. I still don't know. Maybe I'll like come around and like her. I don't know. She's cute, but they're a friend group that were friends before the show started, and it's not like a cast thing. I don't know. That's kind of what reality TV is now. Even the housewives, right? Like they may be in situations that are kind of like, oh, they're gonna go film here, but it's like, do you know what I mean? They're not pretending to. The Hills was just a very different creature, and that was such a long time ago. And I think, like I said, reality TV's changed so much. But so anyways, on Spencer and Heidi's podcast, they were interviewing Stassi from Vanderpump Rules, and I really like Stassi. I was like, it's interesting. I want to like see what they say. So Spencer and Heidi, when they were talking about the Hills reboot, were just like, oh yeah, okay. I don't think it's going well. Like I don't think they were really that like into it after it happened, because they were saying, and they were being very vague, but basically they were saying like they went in and they were like all in, and they knew kind of what it took to like make a reality show. Like you have to be real, and you have to kind of be a little edgy, and you don't have to, I guess you don't have to be afraid to be yourself. Like you can't be too reserved and afraid of what people think. Do you know what I mean? But they were saying how like a lot of the people on the show, like Audrina and you know people that had come back, were still very in the mindset of like, what do you want me to do? Like I can't. What was her character doing? Like, what is she? Who is she? And it's like, was it all fake? And who is she now? So it's like, I don't get why we'd be watching that again. I don't know. And even, like I said, I'm not hating on it or anything, but Spencer and Heidi said the same damn thing, and they're on the show. Like, I feel kind of like they gave the same vibe. So I don't think it's going to be something that is like, you know, maybe it's going to be huge. I don't know. But, honestly, I feel like if you wanted to see a show, like, why didn't Spencer and Heidi just have a show? Like, I'm not their biggest fans, but they're interesting, you know, because they were really a part of the show. They're still married, and I feel like they're, like I said, probably their relationship was more real than most of the others on the show. I'm looking for a lip liner to use. Do you know what I mean? Like, they weren't afraid to be, like, complete cuckoos, and I think that's kind of what you have to do. Because everybody is like kind of cuckoo, and you know, it's like you just can't be that reserved. Let me get my lips on because I feel a little dry. So anyways, that was kind of the gist of that. I'm just not into it. I don't think I can handle it again. Big Little Lies. I have so many predictions, you guys. I feel like I have like kind of the ultimate prediction. So let's just see if it happens. Okay. So first of all, if you haven't watched season 1, watch season 1 of Big Little Lies. It's basically, you know, it starts off and it's like someone has died, you don't know who, and then it flashes back and it shows all these relationships, and it's, you know, kind of like all these moms in this school, and they've got like kids, and it's set in like, where is it, Monterey? A really, really good cast. Okay, and now it's back for season 2. So if you haven't watched season 1, watch it. I'll tell you when to stop watching for like spoilers and stuff, which is gonna be in just a second, because I wanna kind of like predict something and ask you guys about something. What the hell is okay, listen, this show is so good. It's my favorite show on television, but it's on HBO, so if you wanna like catch it. What's happening? I can't do my lips because I'm talking. I'll just hold on. Now, I don't care what people look like. I don't care, but is anyone else not just completely disturbed by what is happening with the bangs on this show? The bangs are very, very aggressive. Nicole Kidman's bangs, it's like, it looks like everyone is wearing a wig, and that's cool, but it's just weird. It looks like everyone is just dressed up. Like, okay, we'll get into Meryl Streep in a minute. Like, oh my gosh, love her. Like, I cannot even Still really like this La Mer. I might put something different on my lips in a minute, like a color, but a lot of times I'm just doing lip gloss in this. So the wigs are disturbing. Okay, maybe it's not wigs, but the bangs, I don't understand. I'll get this fluffy brush. I don't understand. I'm using this, the bronzer that I showed in my tanning video. I'm really loving this. I love the tone of it. I love how creamy it is. Okay, the bangs, not understanding. Okay, so, Shailene Woodley, Jane, the black heavy bangs that are like Nicole Kidman bangs, like heavy bangs. It's like everyone has the same haircut. Reese Witherspoon doesn't have them yet. She's literally, it's just gonna be like the next episode, she's just gonna have bangs and nobody's gonna say anything. Meryl Streep, like, she's got the little lady wig, you know, and the bangs. It's a lot. Does anyone else wish they would have just like let Meryl Streep look like Meryl Streep? I get it. It's like a character, it's a performance, but that would have been a lot more like chilling. And I'm not loving like, what is this? I'm not loving the fake teeth. I was talking to my grandma about it and she was like, they've put something in her mouth. There's some kind of, she's wearing some kind of teeth. And after my grandma said that, that's all I can notice when I watch it. I'm like, they've put her like really narrow like teeth that point out. Okay. Season 1, obviously very dark, you know, there was like a death, there was a lot of abuse, like really dark things happening. Season 2, what we're really wondering about, I mean, it's kind of at first, I thought this is gonna be awful. It's really lacking because it doesn't have what season 1 had, which is the mystery and, you know, the kind of figuring it. But I think it's kind of like the mystery itself is Meryl Streep. Like, what is she doing? Like, who is she? Like, what is her past like? Did anyone else pick up on, if you haven't watched season 1, just skip ahead, like maybe 3-4 minutes. Did you guys notice, are you out of here yet? Because I don't want to spoil the first season for you, okay? Basically, Nicole Kidman, her husband, like, they had a really horrible relationship, like in season 1, very, very abusive. Her husband was super abusive, okay? Alexander Skarsgård, which every time I just see him, all I think of is like True Blood, and it just disturbs me when they show those videos of him playing with the kids where it's like, bleh. I cannot watch that. I'm like, it's disturbing, and they're all like, oh, this is so cute. No, that is so disturbing. That's the scariest part of the show. Maybe that's what's gonna be scary about this season, are the flashbacks of Alexander Skarsgård, okay? So his name was Perry in the show, Nicole Kidman's abusive husband. He died at the end. One of the women pushed him, and now it's a whole thing. It's a cover-up. They're trying to cover for each other. Meryl Streep is his mother, Nicole Kidman's mother-in-law. So she is there, and she is like not having any of it, and she's very suspicious of everyone. But she's talking about her past, and she's talking about how Perry had a little brother, or Perry said this in a flashback. His little brother had died, and then Meryl Streep was referring to Perry's father, and she said, well, after the accident. Do you think that maybe Perry's father was abusive and maybe did something to that little boy? Maybe he accidentally, or maybe he killed that son or something, and Meryl killed him? Do you think? And maybe that's like the mystery. You know, you're gonna find out about Meryl Streep's past and about, you know, what Perry grew up like and grew up with. Maybe that's a big reason of like, you know, and then maybe, okay, now then Zoe Kravitz, right? Oh my gosh, what's her name in the show? Bonnie. So she's the one that actually pushed Perry. The girls were all standing there together and she pushed him off. She's having a lot of like issues with that. Do you know what I mean? And she's having all of these, she's at the ocean and she's looking at the ocean a lot. Her mother comes into town and she's kind of like, I don't say like voodoo, but she is, because she legit like came into Bonnie and her husband's room at night and put like bones and crystals by their bed. Okay, I don't know another word for it, okay? So she came in and did that madness, and then showed flashbacks of, you know, her swimming, the little girl. But did you guys notice, and I thought this was just a glitch that was happening, and I had to like rewind this a million times and try to pause it, and you couldn't see it with your naked eye, but like when Zoe Kravitz's mother, Bonnie's mother, came into town and she like touched her, she kind of looked away and had like this flash, and if you paused it just right, it was Bonnie like floating in the water like she looked dead. And she mentioned to her daughter later, she's like, I'm seeing you drowning. Do you think that maybe Meryl Streep is gonna like find out somehow that she's the one that pushed the son, and then maybe Meryl Streep is gonna kill her? Because Bonnie can't swim. I think, and I'm just assuming that because she's having flashbacks of her saying that she's afraid. Mom trying to teach her to swim and her saying, I don't want to swim. And do you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's odd. Okay, so that's my prediction. That's what I think is going to happen. Reese Witherspoon, her husband, found out, you know, that do you think that maybe Reese is going to get back with her first husband? No, I don't know. But yeah, I'm loving Meryl Streep. And the other night I watched a movie that my sister and I used to watch all of the time. First of all, these cream blushes by Tarte, these are so good. This is the one called Mood, and I also have the one called Break Time, which is a tad bit darker. These are so good. So I watched She-Devil, which was this movie with Roseanne and Meryl Streep, like in the early 90s. My sister, and our late 80s, I don't know when this was, but my sister and I used to watch this movie all the time. Very inappropriate for like kids our age to have been watching, but who cares? It's freaking hilarious. And I appreciated it like so much more now as an adult. It's the funniest, it's so hilarious. It's like Meryl Streep is so funny in that movie, and like toward the end when she starts to like break, and she's like, you know, like yelling at the kids, and oh my gosh, it's so funny. So if you want like a really kooky, like weird ass movie to watch, you should watch She-Devil. Can't even believe I'm like, it's so freaking funny. I hadn't seen it in so many years. It's kind of like parts of it are very disturbing, but it's kind of freaking hilarious. Meryl Streep's really good in it, especially toward the end when she starts to like break. Vanderpump Rules isn't even like on right now, but I think Jax and Brittany are getting married this weekend. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where like I want it to work out, obviously, but it's like it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. I don't know. I mean, I feel bad saying that, but it's just so bizarre. I don't know. It's just such an... And I like Brittany, but I do feel like she is one of those girls that's just like, she wants to get married, you know? It's like, I get it, but I don't get it, but I hope it works out. Oh, Southern Charm, though, is back, and it could not be any more boring. Like, this show, I used to live for this show, I did, but I'm just not into it. Isn't the blush pretty? You gotta use it with your fingers. I could not be, I watch it every week and it like makes me excited, but nothing happens. And I swear to you guys, if I see that flashback of Austin and Madison and his apartment, Madison, if I see that one more time, I'm gonna flip out. Like there was a video of him cheating on her, like after the fact, like one of the girls that he was with like had set up this little camera or whatever, her phone. Oh my gosh, it's just annoying. I don't know, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I get it. Madison's cute, like she's a new cute addition, but I don't get that either. I don't like the new Eliza girl. I don't get that. I mean, it's just weird. It's like I feel like they're just kind of trying to fill the cast in because they lost Thomas, which good riddance, like don't care. Is anyone kind of rooting for Catherine and Whitney to get together? Whitney is Patricia's son. That's like, you know, Patricia's the woman where like, even if you don't watch the show, I'm sure you know who Patricia is, like just from like the internet, but like, she's this like really fancy woman that lives in this like big old like house in Charleston, and she has a butler that's like a full-time butler, and he drives her around like through the McDonald's drive-through and like pulls her off like in, you know, right straight out of the drive-through. Like they don't even go to another parking lot like I do when I go through McDonald's. Like they pull straight off of that drive-through and pull in, and he pops the trunk and he gets wine out and he's like, shall I serve you, madam? And like giving her like her burger. And I get it, but I know like a lot of this is for TV, but you know what? Maybe it's not. She's someone that I really feel like maybe that's just how she lives. This is the rose gold Charlotte Tilbury. I loved the Marie Antoinette so much that I got this one. And what I love about this one, as you can see, is like you can use it kind of sheer, but you can really build it up, and it is so pretty. And I know everybody really likes Cameron, and I've said this before, and you guys give me a hard time for it. Oh, Cameron, if I hear one more person say Cameron's a national treasure, I like her. The only reason I watched that show was because of her, because I was a huge Real World fan. That was the only reason I was excited about Southern Charm. I'm like, oh my gosh, the girl from the Real World's gonna be on there, Cameron from the Real World. And I get it, but I think a lot of things that she says is kind of that like fake real thing, which I'm not trying to, I like her and I think she's funny. I follow her on social media. I like the posts she does, but I think it's kind of two-sided. She gives people crap for, you know, doing promoted things. I'll never do that, but then she does it, but no one can say that's wrong. You know, with the whole motherhood thing, it kind of honestly turns me off because I think as a mom, you know, being honest and saying, this is fucking fucking hard. And, you know, be honest about your experiences and how, you know, and I think the whole crap about people shaming women for anything they want to do with their child's a joke. I've said that before. I could care less what anyone else does with their child. So when people would tell me, even when Livy was really young, and, you know, it's like, get off of it. Like, you sound like a nut. You know, it sounds like you need to, like, spend time with your own kid. Like, you just don't give people advice like that. No one freaking cares. She's kind of, I feel kind of like no nonsense about that too. Like, she just kind of lives her life and stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's like a lot of what people praise her for is also what people then turn around and give her crap for. And I think she's funny and cute, but my problem is with her on the show is that everyone praises her for being so real, but she's showing you exactly what she wants to show you on the show. She doesn't show her husband. Her relationships never get dirty because she never shows them deeply. You've never seen her in any kind of situation with anyone because she just kind of sits back and watches and makes funny little quips. And that's what I like her, but I don't respect that because I feel like everyone's, oh, she's so real, but no, because she's not showing anything. And I think people gave her a hard time for that, and I think they're still doing that. And here I am, hold on. And you notice that she's like talking to her husband on the phone and you're hearing his voice now on the show. And it's like, I bet you next season, or at least by the end of this season, he'll be on there more because I think she's realizing she has to show that and she has to be a little more vulnerable. You know, and I think that comes from like, she's a 90s reality star too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the real world was not so real. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you're showing your life and your home and your marriages and your friendships, but she's not really doing that. It's kind of like the whole Hills thing still. Okay, I don't know. But love her, don't give me crap. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, I think what people praise her for is also, is not really what is happening. So let's talk about a few of the Housewives shows. Okay, so Beverly Hills, honestly, like season 1, Camille is back. And I'm not really here for it. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't need to see this like crazy fighting or anything. I just don't want to see it. I think that it's nice when you, not nice, but I think that like, okay, like I said, it's good, I think, on these shows when you see people have real issues, not just because you're watching drama or anything for the sake of drama. But I think that's what Camille is she's just kind of drama for the sake of drama, and I just don't love it. And I don't know. I feel like she's kind of getting a little messy again. One of the big things of the season is that Lisa Vanderpump is gone. Am I in focus? No, as usual. So Lisa Vanderpump is gone. I saw literally like a clip of next week, and it was her like talking to Camille, which, I mean, Camille isn't even like she's like a friend on the show. And I'm like, well, what show is this? Like, it's so weird to see Lisa Vanderpump on the show because she hasn't been on there. And I just think they should leave it at that. She didn't show up to the reunion. I'm kind of honestly glad that she's not on there anymore. And that's coming from someone who, I am a Lisa Vanderpump fan. I like her. I don't like her on this show. And I love her on Vanderpump Rules. That's, again, one of my favorite shows. But all of the scenes that you see of her on Vanderpump Rules is like her private scenes, or like where she's, you know, at the restaurant doing something or working, or if she's at her home, or those are things that you see on both shows. Like, her scenes aren't any different unless if she's with the Vanderpump Rules kids. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think 2 shows of that was a bit much. I think she had kind of like passed that anyways, do you know? So I'm kind of glad that she's not on there. I think that it was just time. And I have honestly enjoyed, like I said, I love her. And I love her on Vanderpump Rules. It's like, it's her show, but I don't like her with these women anymore. And I loved, honestly, the last few shows or the few episodes where the women aren't with her or where she's not on it. Because I feel like she's such like I don't know, I feel like she kind of takes over, or, do you know what I'm saying? I really loved the show without her, and I hate to say that, but it's been really good lately. But did you notice? Well, first of all, let me tell you about this. This is a new Chanel mascara. The Volume de Chanel has been my favorite for a long time, but now they have the Le Volume Revolution de Chanel. I've just started using last week, so the brush is just slightly different. It's a little more nubby. It's a little thicker looking. It has like some different size nubbies. I feel like the formula is a bit thicker. I don't know, I'm still kind of trying to really see, like, okay, what's the big difference here? I don't know. I mean, I like it, but it's, you know what I mean? It's so similar to the other one. I do feel like when you build it though, it takes a while to dry. So that is one thing. I don't know. I will update you as I use it. I might get better. I might discover better things. May discover some worse things. I'm just kind of like getting to know it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I also have another new mascara, the Too Faced Damn Girl. I've had this for a while, about a month now, and I do like this. It's very long wearing, but it is so similar to the Better Than Sex, but I feel like, well, the wand's just slightly thicker, a little bigger, but it's like a 24-hour mascara, which I like because it's not quite waterproof, like to where you have to like sand it off of your face at the end of the night so you don't like damage, you know, none of that harsh like removal process, but it does last a little longer. I feel like it's a little more long wearing, but I feel like it's very feathery and builds really beautiful. But back to Beverly Hills, something I did notice, did you guys notice this? When they were in Provence, that episode where they all got like real sloppy, and they were at the table one night. Let me tell you, I do think that they all kind of like, the whole thing with Lisa Vanderpump, I think that after all the puppy stuff happened with Lisa Vanderpump, all the stuff between her and Teddy, Kaya, all that, I think that there probably was a situation where all the girls did get together, except for Camille, and they said, let's get her out of here, like let's push her out. And I noticed at the table in France when they were all sitting there, and Kyle had been drinking, and Teddy, they all had, except for, really except for Erica. And Erica had been sick that day. She had a migraine, like she wasn't, you know, whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so Kyle and Teddy are like, do you not like being with us? Like, what's going on? And she kind of like took it for a minute, but then Erica was like, are you trying to push me out? And it wasn't like, are you trying to push me out? Like, it was kind of like, I'm trying to like tone my voice. Like, it was kind of like something they had talked about before, like, okay, now you're trying to push me out? Like, are you trying, you know what I'm saying? I think they probably did kind of all get together and say, well, look, if none of us film with her and we're not friends with her, like, she'll leave and then we'll have our show and we won't have to deal with her. And I think that's kind of, because like, do you know what I'm saying? I think they were just kind of all over it. Because as much as I do like Lisa Vanderpump, like she does kind of play dirty, and they showed all those flashbacks of where like she had told people, you know, things to say, or I mean, it happened with literally every woman on the show. I've used this, you know, mascara is so different, a lot of different days. So I've had a few days like where it's good, like where it's really dramatic and pretty. I cannot get it to build right today. And again, like I said, the last time I used it, I noticed it stayed really goopy for a while. Like, well, that one's dry. But like, as you build it, maybe I just built it like too much. Stayed really goopy, kind of like what I'm doing right now. This is gross. Okay, see, I just feel like it's making them stick together today. So, I don't know. I'd say just stick to the original, because I never had that issue with this, but maybe it's just because it's new, and like I said, maybe like it'll get better in a week, and you know how sometimes mascaras change. Let's talk about the Nordstrom anniversary sale. Okay, hold on. So I'm really excited because this year, I'm gonna get to go in the day before even the early day to shop. So like the last couple years, especially last year, I feel like the anniversary sale videos have gotten so saturated, posts and everything. But I hate to say this, but I feel like years ago, 4 years, 5 years ago, when I would post about it, it was like special. Here's the thing, I think what happened is it did catch on because it is that good. And so I get it. So you're gonna be inundated with all of the posts again, but what is so cool is that the day that the pre-sale begins, or early access, which is like when you can shop, you know, if you're a credit card member, you can shop that week before online. But I always go in a day even before that. The day before any of the stuff's online, right? It's an in-store thing only, and it's for certain card tier members. Well, I get to go in even before that this year. So I'm like before the before day. So follow me on Instagram. I don't like my eyelashes. I don't love I don't love this today with these eyelashes. I don't know what's happening. Follow me on Instagram and watch my videos, like, you know, watch for new videos, because I will do some posts and update, you know, like as I'm shopping, do some stories, do some posts, whatever. Keep you guys updated on all the dates, when and how to shop. You guys know I've always got you like 100% covered. And also, and then my video will go up like the morning when the sale drops online with like actual items. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll tell you, I get really kind of just like, I don't like it just to show, oh, here's the catalog. Okay, well, I'm not gonna do a video just to show you guys things ahead of time to try to get you guys to click onto Nordstrom so that when you shop, I'll get credit for it. Like, I don't like to do that. I don't like to show you guys things you can't get. And I like to, if I'm gonna do a video, I'm gonna show you guys things that you actually can get and things that I actually purchased. I'm not gonna just go and show, I don't know. I don't like to link to things in the dressing room that I'm not purchasing myself. I'm not gonna recommend anything to you guys unless, I just think there's so many ways to do it, and I really like to just go shop and show you guys what I actually bought. And I always place at least a few extra orders like during the time, and it's all of my fall clothes. And I feel always bad like when I link to things later in the year that were on sale that they still are selling, because that's kind of the idea, is that it's all, if you're new to this, it's all new stuff. It's all their new stuff. It's not sale items that they're trying to get rid of like a traditional sale. It's literally like all of their new items that's coming in for fall and winter. As they come in, they deeply discount them for like those few weeks. And that's why the sale is so incredible. And then those are the items that they're selling for fall and winter, and then go back up to regular price. And so when I link to them later, it's like, I hate to link to them regular price, but that's why I hope that you guys will really take advantage of it this year. I'm sorry, I'm not loving, I wish, this was so exciting, but today was literally the worst it's ever been. Like literally today is like the worst it's ever been. I'm gonna keep messing with it, and I'm going to probably make it worse. I don't think I would recommend this. The Damn Girl is really good. The Too Faced, I'll use that in one upcoming, in my next video. I'll show you guys what that does. I will, because I think my next video is gonna be favorites. Holy goodness, you guys, oh my gosh, I've got so many good things. You just can't beat this highlighter, you really can't. I need to do my powder under my eyes. Listen, all these shows though, watch Dead to Me, watch Big Little Lies in its entirety if you have not seen season 1. It's like the best. Season 2 though, I think it's gonna pick up, but let me know what you think of my prediction. Do you think, this is that hyaluronic powder, do you think, I don't know, do you think, maybe I'm like totally off, but I do like making predictions for things like that. I think it's really exciting to kind of like, you know, because I think that's what makes this show fun, and that's what kind of brought people in, is that the very first part, or the first scene of the first season, it's like, they let you know that someone was killed, and it's like, oh my gosh, and it's just so fun to figure out. I feel like that's kind of what I'm naturally wanting to do this season, is I'm just figuring it out. And I think that's what all of us kind of like to do when we watch this kind of shows. I forgot to curl my lashes. Maybe that's it. But they look curled today. I mean, it's not that. It's just that they're sticking together. They're a little clumpy today. Whatever, okay? It doesn't look bad, but it's not as like feathered out as I like. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you tried this mascara? And what do you think? Not sure. Not sure about it. Okay, let me finish my highlighter. Just wanted to do that so I didn't forget the powder. But yeah. Let me know if you've watched The Hills, because I'm genuinely curious. Like, I don't want to like give it a shot just to be giving it a shot. Honestly, like, I'm kind of over it, and I feel kind of, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling like the hype of it, and I'm just not into it anyways. I'm not into it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, when it was over, I bought all of the DVDs because I'm a sucker. That shows you how long ago this crap was. Like, I bought the DVDs. I bought the box sets of like all the seasons, and I don't know if I ever went back and watched them. So it's like, I'm not gonna subject myself to this again. Like, I've been fooled once. Do you know what I mean? And it was good and entertaining, but I don't want to revisit it. Do you know? It's just I don't care. I think there's so much reality TV that I just don't care. I don't want to relive something that I've already done. Whatever, okay. Shadow is so pretty though. Like, definitely check that out, that rose gold. I think everything looks good, but I'm just not loving this mascara. I hate when something like that happens and you don't want to like wash off all of your makeup. I'm not loving it, but whatever, okay? Maybe steer clear of that. I'll update you guys. I'm gonna try to use it a little more and just kind of see what happens. Because like I said, it hasn't been bad, but this is by far the worst it's been. July is just gonna be nuts. Like, I feel like I have so much more to say to you guys. gosh, like we've got trips coming up and there's some events coming up. I was looking at my calendar, every single day is like something, things that Olivia, like activities that Olivia's doing, and just July in general, especially late July, I feel it's kind of like crunch time for, not crunch time, but like you're preparing. It's like you're in the midst of summer, right? Like you're in, and then it's like you have to go into like prep for school and all of that, and it's just, you know, but we'll get through it, you guys. Let's just savor every second of summer. I'm trying just to like soak up every little drippy drop of summer. And yeah, so many fun things coming up, you guys. I will do a video on this whole like beauty. I think you guys would be really, like really surprised. It's so pretty. But I have a few more things I gotta get done for it. But anyways, y'all, love y'all so much. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, see y'all later. Bye.